to share with you what I have shared with my clients who've come to my office for the last 30 years. They have been individuals seeking a better relationship. If they're happy, they want to make it better. They've come feeling stuck, either alone or with their partner. Some are ready to separate. Some are in the middle of a divorce or want a divorce, and some are past divorce. And I've offered them the same information that I'm going to give you in this training. So I'm very glad you're here. I've been where you are now, and I've been in a place where I really didn't know what I wanted. So think about it for a minute. What do you want? If you had a magic wand, do you want a more intimate connection with your partner? Do you want a respectful separation? Are you looking for a peaceful divorce or a better relationship? But you might not even be sure. There's a lot of people that come to my office and they vacillate between wanting to stay together, wanting to create a better relationship, thinking they're finished and want a divorce. So where are you right now? And wherever you are, see if there's something in this video that you can relate to. Where you were now. And I needed to take a look at how was I communicating with my partner? Was I ready to make decisions for my future? What did I know about my financial health and well-being? How much in self was I? How much was I able to come from that higher self where I was calm and clear versus reactive? And how committed was I to making changes? And I want to share all that with you today because not only do I have the professional expertise, but I have a personal history where I can give you the benefit of what I learned along my journey and also what I learned along my journey to suggest that you don't do it. So I want to give you the benefit of my experience and my expertise and help you create a better relationship. So let's start with your story. I'll tell you mine. And mine was that I married my college sweetheart, and we were happy for a while, and then we got unhappy, and then we separated, got divorced after a very long time, and have been divorced for a very long time. But where are you? Are you happy and hopeful? Do you remember what that's like to truly trust your partner and feel the joy of being together every day? And then something happens. Either your communication breaks down, you feel yourself getting distant from each other, and you try to put it back together. Maybe you go to marriage counseling. Maybe you have long, deep talks that don't seem to get anywhere. But I was there too. I was married for 20 years. I was very happy for a very long time. And then it looked like our marriage was having difficulties, and I didn't know what to do. So we did go to marriage counseling, but marriage counseling didn't help us enough. It didn't give us all the skills we needed to talk about everything. And then for a while, I was unhappy and stuck. And for me, that meant I knew I didn't want a divorce, but on the other hand, I didn't want to stay in the parallel life that we were living, where we weren't really intersecting from our hearts. And I've had many clients that come to my office that way, and they think the only option is to get divorced, and there's not. There's so many more options when you're feeling stuck. And what you have to do is take the time you need to explore those options so that you can make the next right step for yourself. So if you're unhappy and stuck, I'm going to give you some suggestions for getting unstuck. And perhaps you're separated. And I remember what my separation was like. It went on for a very long time. We had to navigate the finances. We navigated co-parenting. We went on other dates with other people and had to navigate separate lives. So there's a whole series of issues that you have to navigate when you're separated, and learning the skills of compassionate communication that I'm going to offer you today will help you in your separation. And perhaps you're divorcing somewhere along the spectrum. It might be just beginning, you might be in the middle of it, it might be almost finished. Wherever you are in the process, you can still use the tools I'm going to give you today and make your divorce more kind, more compassionate, and ultimately more healing for your restructured family. It truly can be done. Because I remember when I was getting a divorce, I was in the courtroom with my soon-to-be beloved ex-husband, and he and I were sitting out in the courtroom area, and our lawyers were back with the judge negotiating the rest of our lives. And he was sitting with his wounds, and I was sitting with mine. And I told myself, as I was sitting there, that there had to be a better way. There had to be a better way to get divorced. And what I tried to do is create that program and create that process and help other people avoid the pain that he and I felt, our children felt, our extended families felt, and truly create a compassionate divorce, which is possible. And you might be divorced. You might have already finalized your papers and still find that there's some lingering resentments, there's some lingering pain. You might get nervous every time you have to know you're going to be with your ex-spouse. It might affect your family because when you're together, they can feel the tension on either side of the room. I know that was true for my ex-husband and me. There were times when we could navigate our coexistence peacefully, and there were other times when resentments and memories kicked in and we had a tough time really being as cordial to each other as we might have wanted to be. But I've learned how to do that. I've helped other people become more compassionate in their relationships, and I can help you in this training. Because wherever you are right now, you might be hoping to reignite your connection. And of course, you realize that things cool down in the bedroom when you're not communicating outside the bedroom. So if you built walls around your heart, if there's filters through which you're judging your partner, then you're not going to feel connected. You're not going to feel intimate. And learning how to compassionately communicate will help you outside of the bedroom so that you begin to connect in the bedroom as well. Because right now you might be wanting to connect, but instead of trying to communicate and getting nowhere, you may end up feeling angry or hopeless. And a lot of couples come to my office exactly like that. And they'll come into my office, I'll notice where they're sitting on the couch or the chairs, I'll notice if they're looking at each other or looking away. I'm looking to see who is more unhappy, who is more angry, who feels more guilty. So I invite you to take a look at your own relationship and see how you are feeling in it. And perhaps you're at the crossroads where you really can't decide if you want to stay or go. And that's an exceptionally challenging place to be, because when you've committed to stay in the relationship, you know what you're going to do that. And when you're deciding to get a separation or divorce, again, there are steps to take. But in that limbo state of, do I stay or do I go, there's a lot of heartache. There's a lot of struggle. There's a lot of pain. There's a lot of indecision. And I've been there. I know what that's like. I've helped hundreds of people that have been in that situation. And I want to give you some skills to help you make that decision so that it really is in the highest good for you and for all concerned. So ask yourself, are your walls up? Is that how you're relating to your partner? Are you defensive? Are you aggressive? Are you withholding? Are you too afraid to act nice again because you'll give your partner the wrong idea that you're really happy when you're not? And are you fighting about the same things? Are you fighting about money? Are you fighting about parenting? Are you fighting about your sex life or your relations with your other family members? What are you fighting about? And can you learn a new way to have those discussions so that it's not a fight? And the answer is yes. And I'm going to give you those tools in this training. And if you have children, I know you don't want your children to suffer. And no matter how old your children are, they know everything. They really do. Even if they're young, they feel the energy between the two of you. And even if you're not fighting, but you're not warm and affectionate, they know that. They see that. They see that modeled. And I know because you're here that that's not what you want for your children. You want them to see a healthy relationship, a loving relationship, an intimate relationship, passionate, fun. Put the words on it that you want. That's what I want to help you create. because you once promised to love your partner forever. We all did when we got married. And wherever you are right now, you might be happy and hopeful that you can learn some skills and take them right back to your relationship today. And you will. And you might be stuck, but you can get unstuck. You don't have to stay stuck. And if you're separated, even though you made a promise, there are other options besides going back to the old relationship or getting a divorce. And perhaps you're in the middle of an adversarial process right now that pits one parent against the other. And that is a terrible place to be for all concerned. I often say that we need to protect our children from the shrapnel of our animosity. And sometimes I wonder just how many lives have been shattered by all of the aggression and anger that comes out of divorces. And we have to change that. We have to change the way people resolve conflict. And that's what we're going to learn how to do today. And what I found in my over 30 years of counseling individuals and couples, and even in my friendships with other people, what I've noticed is many people leave their relationship when they could stay if they only knew how. And others, unfortunately, stay in relationships when they should leave, but they don't know what they don't know, so they're afraid to take any action. And that's why I've used all my skills to create the Compassionate Mediation book and my online program. And what Compassionate Mediation is, it's a way of talking about all your issues. It's more than marriage counseling, it's more than divorce counseling. It gives you a chance to talk about everything from your highest and best self, create a compassionate relationship with your partner, explore your options, understand your rights and your finances, and truly create that relationship you desire and deserve. And what Compassionate Mediation allows you to do is either truly add passion to your marriage or compassion to your divorce. And it's the same skill set. It's learning how to compassionately communicate and then talk about everything with empathy. And you can create a new relationship and stay together. And the book, I'm proud to say, was voted by Aspire magazine as one of the top 10 inspiring books in 2017. And my mentor, Dick Schwartz, who's my teacher of internal family systems, which is the type of therapy I do, he says, divorce brings out the worst in us and often leaves lasting scars. He says that I'm a master at lifting couples out of their narrow, protective perspectives. Then they learn the larger lessons from their relationships and proceed based on the best interest of all involved. This is relationship healing at its best. And the first part of compassionate mediation is to learn how to compassionately communicate. And that's what we're going to focus on today. And my Kindle book on compassionate divorce was also a new release because what I hope to do is change the face of divorce one heart at a time. Starting with your heart, starting with the heart of your partner, and resolving conflict so that it doesn't have to lead to a divorce. And if it does lead to a divorce, then I do believe that families need not be broken, but can be peacefully and respectfully restructured. And learning how to restructure with compassionate communication and empathy is what we're going to learn today. So my background combines being a lawyer, which I became many years ago, and then I studied internal family systems. I'm a psychotherapist, a licensed clinical professional counselor for over 30 years. I studied for 5 years at the Chopra Center with Deepak Chopra, David Simon, and Claire Diab to learn how to teach meditation, yoga, and Ayurveda. And I'm also a certified mediator. And I put all that together to come up with Compassionate Mediation and the Compassionate Mediation Program and help people start over. So wherever you are right now, you can start over in your relationship because it is a new day and a new beginning. And you're here right now listening to me, and you're going to take away some tools that you can use right now to make positive changes in your relationship.